I just want to know why you're against abortion. Because I saw the sign and I'm just genuinely curious.
Just genuinely curious? No worries. So, abortion kills up to 80,000 children in Australia every year. And I believe everyone has a right to life.
Then, personally, I'm Catholic and I also believe things like this is also wrong. But if you're thinking about it in a perspective of more like on a science perspective, if a kid isn't born from a person's womb, technically I don't think it's even counted as a life yet. Cause
You mean it's like in an artificial womb?
no,
What
not
do you-
saying that either.
What are you talking
'Cause
about?
in order for a kid to be considered a child,
Yeah.
it has to come out of the mother's body. Thus meaning if it still relies on the mother to have its nutrients, thus meaning it's still in the stomach, of course, well then I don't find abortion wrong because sometimes, since you know how twisted this world is since you put this out, you'd also know that rape happens and,
Hang on. Let's
and there might be kids.
make one point and I'll respond to that, and then you can make another point and I'll respond to that, if that's all right.
Okay.
So what point would you like me to respond to?
If a person is under the legal age to have kids, why would aborting a child, if it's in a legal sense, wrong? Since you say abortion.
Well, let's talk to, you said before that a child is not a child until it's been born, right?
Yeah.
Well, a child just means offspring, okay? And so technically anything that has the DNA of a parent and that is direct lineage of that parent, right, is the offspring, even if it's in the womb. And it's a human and it's alive.
But it still needs the help. Because, if a kid is born out, you can technically just leave it there and it will still be alive. But if it's still in the mother's stomach, then you still have to provide for it as your own person. But sometimes people won't have the financial situation, the energy, or even all that to even raise a kid. So, hell, even the body might not even be physically capable of that.
Let me ask you a question.
Go.
Do you believe we are defined by our circumstances?
I'm not sure about that one.
I'm saying, do we have inherent value? Because Hitler, for example, would say otherwise, and he would say that the Jews don't have a right to life because they're Jews, right? So they're defined by their circumstances in the mind of Hitler.
To me, everybody has their value. And, well, like said, abortion.
So it's not. So our human value is not determined by our circumstances, correct? We are not defined by our circumstances. We're defined by our character. Yes.
No, circumstances is also plays a big part in it. You know?
So my point is, if your circumstance is that you are dependent on your mother in the womb, then you're saying the child's life is determined by that value. I'm saying that everyone has an inherent right to life because they're made in God's image, they're made in His likeness. You will know, as a Catholic, God spoke to Jeremiah and He said, I knew you before you were formed in the womb. I separated you and I called you out to be a prophet of the nations. So not only did God acknowledge that Jeremiah had humanity, he had identity in the womb, He also called out Jeremiah and gave purpose and meaning in his life. And that's where everyone's meaning of life is. It comes from God.
Let's be honest with ourselves a little. You're a Catholic or?
No, I'm just a Christian.
Ah.
But we still share the same worldview that there is a God. If there wasn't a God, there'd be no such thing as meaning in life. There'd be no such thing as actually moral right and wrong. It's all predicated on God. That's why all of this matters.
You know what? Okay. I will let your opinion stay that.
No worries.